Welcome back to today's Monday Motivations, brought to you by Gates of Brain Health. We have Dr. Randall Gates, board-certified chiropractic neurologist and chiropractic physician of Gates Brain Health and Advanced Imaging Reno. So thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
We are talking about concussions, which with football season being here, that is what is on a lot of people's minds.
Absolutely.
I know the quarterback for, I believe it's the Miami Dolphins, really putting concussions into the headlines right now.
Right.
And this is kind of a perfect topic because this is what you're doing at Advanced Imaging Reno. So let's talk about concussions. What's really going on in our brain when we get one?
When we get a concussion, the brain, for all intents and purposes, is rattled around. There can be microscopic damage to certain areas of the brain. Frequently, patients will have symptoms of, feeling disoriented, dizzy, headaches are common, being light sensitive. They may appear glassy-eyed, according to loved ones. Frequently, because of concern about a bleed in the brain, a lot of people go to the emergency room where they'll receive a CT scan of the head or they'll get an MRI of the brain. Most typically, it's a CT in the initial stages. And more often than not, it comes back normal, which we want. We want it to come back normal. We don't want there to be a hemorrhage. Now, from that, a lot of people conclude that there was no damage, my CT scan is normal, so it means that I should be feeling better. But a significant percentage of those who have these head injuries can go on to develop chronic symptoms.
Interesting.
And then the question becomes, well, my scan was normal, but I don't feel normal. The reality is that there's new technology out there, just like the iPhone around 2007, 2008, whenever it came out, was different than our current iPhones.
Right.
So there's new technology that we have available today. That's what we're bringing to Advanced Imaging Reno to show patients, let's look at the microstructural aspect of your brain, and is there damage or is there not damage?
Okay, so let's talk about that. Concussion-focused imaging. We've got a graphic that we want to show you guys. What is what we're seeing right here? How do you read this?
So this represents the center of the brain. It's called the corpus callosum. And that is a big white matter tract that connects the two hemispheres of the brain. As you can see in the normal image, which is on the front side of the slide, you see a lot of color, you see fibers emanating from that central part of the corpus callosum. In the head trauma slice that you see there, you can see that there's less fibers emanating from the corpus callosum. Really, it's not per se the fibers. What it's representing is water within those fibers.
And so is this what a normal MRI scan is going to do, or is this the advanced one?
This is what we're doing at
This is
Advanced
what we're the
Imaging Reno.
advanced ones, because that looks advanced. So I'm glad we clarified that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that is really incredible there. So let's go to the next one. This is what we're calling the TBI report. What does TBI stand for?
TBI report, and you can kind of see here, you see gray matter and you see white matter. That's kind of what the standard MRI looks like, but on this TBI report, what's different is that we're using advanced post-processing sequencing to look at lesions within the brain that may be secondary to a head injury. So we can see white matter foci, that's what they're termed basically, after head injury. So we're tracking those after head injury.
Okay, and then the next one, very similar, kind of all within that TBI report.
Yes, and so this is a big passion of mine because here we're able to look at density of different areas of the brain. And so we can then compare that person to thousands of age-matched normal individuals and how dense their brain is. And this is really important because something that I think is kind of interesting is doing a scan before a football season and doing a scan after a football season for those parents who are really worried about their children's brain, or before and after ski season, whatever the sport may be, soccer, really having an objective indicator of where our brain health is.
Right, and so if you experience a concussion, is your brain getting more dense or less dense?
It depends on the phase of the injury.
Okay.
At certain times there might be swelling, and through time lots of times we have a pattern of atrophy.
Okay.
Particularly like in the memory area, and one thing we see with repetitive head injuries is that we can actually get atrophy in the front part of the brain.
Interesting. And then it affects so much other stuff, right? Which is really terrible. So let's go ahead now. Let's show you guys what this new imaging machine looks like. This is one of the reasons why it's so cool, because he's mentioned it before on our show, is that this is bigger than your standard MRI machine, which can be very intimidating, very claustrophobic and stuff. So this is really, really great to have in our area.
Yeah, and what it says is 70-centimeter bore. And there are other 70-centimeter bores, but there are others that are not 70 centimeters. The bore refers to the size in which you're going into the magnet.
Yeah.
So 70 centimeters is one of the widest, it is not the widest, but it's one of the widest on the market to allow for patient comfort.
Yeah, which is great because again, it can be really scary when you're already going to the hospital unsure of what kind of diagnosis you're about to receive. So to add a level of comfort is very important. Real fast, how do people go about getting into seeing you at the Advanced Imaging Reno?
Yeah, so they would, to get to, not me, but to get to Advanced Imaging Reno, you get a referral from your doctor.
Oh, okay.
You get a standard referral for an MRI if they feel it's justified. And they send the, call 775-507-3331.
Okay.
And then they can talk to the front desk staff there about getting scheduled.
Perfect. And I will make sure that Advanced Imaging Reno's website is linked to our article on colatv.com after the show. So if you have any more questions, you want to reach out, find out some more information, but then again, just talk to your doctor if this is something you're interested in doing. So thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
appreciate it. All right.
Thank you for watching. We'll be right back.